Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Thursday, day 24 of distant learning. Your science lesson will follow my reading lesson, so it will be more towards the end of this video. Today, you are to complete 30 minutes reading a story of your choice, and then we are going to be close reading a text. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, we are going to be using the text from the packet, but we aren't going to be following the packet with the text. The packet plans for you guys to write another essay. We're not writing an essay this week, okay? Instead, we are going to close read the same story, and then tomorrow we will be answering some comprehension questions that after today will make answering those questions so much easier, okay? So, if you have your packet, go ahead and turn to Miss Johnson's Plant Experiment. That is the story. It's got a little picture of what looks like a plant that has sprouted in the ground on it, okay? Give you a second to do that. Now, remember when we close read, we need to read the text a total of 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, okay? I'm going to read the story to you the first time through, which means that you will only have to read it twice, okay? So I'm helping you out there, okay? I'm going to read it once, and then you will read it 2 times, okay? Now the first read is when you will just listen to me as I read the text out loud, okay? The second read is for you to casually read the story to get a feel for the text, okay? What is it telling us? What does the author want us to know? What's it about? Who are the characters? Like, you're kind of reading for understanding now at this point, okay? And then for the third read is when you will analyze the text, meaning you will take notes. You will explain, what is the paragraph telling you? What does the author want you to know after you read this paragraph? So you've read this paragraph, what was that paragraph telling you? Okay? Also for analyzing, you will circle the characters' names so you can identify all the characters in the story. Underline the setting. Figure out, where does this story take place? And remember, there could be multiple settings, okay? And then also draw a box around words that you don't know. All right? Again, tomorrow we will be answering comprehension questions based on this story, so be sure to analyze the text the best that you know, just like we do in class. So there must be writing all over your story, okay? And that will help us answer our questions tomorrow. Okay, so here is your first read of Miss Johnson's Plant Experiment. Miss Johnson, a second grade teacher, reached deep into her canvas bag and pulled out 2 plants. She placed the plants on a table at the front of the room. She asked her class to gather around the table to look at the plants and describe what they saw. They look the same, Helena said. The leaves are green, Aaron added. They're standing straight up, Lee noted. Miss Johnson asked them to touch the soil and tell her about it. The soil is moist and it's dark brown, Mia observed. The soil is getting stuck under my fingernails, Teresa said. Miss Johnson placed 1 plant in a sunny spot on the windowsill and the other on the floor in the dark corner of the classroom, She asked for 4 volunteers. Each volunteer was responsible for watering the plant on the windowsill once a week. Miss Johnson promised her class the plants would be part of an important lesson the following month. 4 weeks later, Miss Johnson brought the plants back to the table and invited the class to describe them again. They don't look like each other anymore, Helena said excitedly. One plant is green and has some new bright green leaves, and the other plant has more yellow and brown leaves than green leaves, Nina explained. One plant is standing straight up, and the other one is bent over, Lenny added. Miss Johnson then asked the students to touch the soil and tell her about it. It's moist and dark brown around this plant, Grace said. It's very dry and light brown around this plant, Max described. Miss Johnson explained. Plants are alive. They respond to where they live. What are the differences between where I put the plants and how we cared for them? You put one in a dark corner and the other one on the windowsill where there's a lot of light, Ellie replied. We watered the plant on the windowsill, but we didn't water the plant in the corner of the room, Aaron said. That's right. Which plant is growing and healthy? Miss Johnson asked. Several students replied that the plant on the windowsill they watered was the one which was growing and healthy. You're right, Miss Johnson exclaimed, proud of her students. Then she continued, I wanted you to see for yourself that plants depend on light and water to grow and to be healthy. Did you know that plants breathe? They have little openings on their leaves that look like tiny mouths, but they are too small to see without a microscope. When we breathe in oxygen. Plants breathe in carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide from the air and use it to build their leaves, stems, and roots. Plants also take in water. This is why we need to water plants, so they will grow. They use their roots to suck water up into their bodies and the little openings on their leaves to breathe in carbon dioxide. Once they have water and carbon dioxide, plants need light. Leaves are made up of a bunch of tiny cells. Inside the cells are very little things called chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are what make leaves green, and they are also what turn the carbon dioxide, water, and light into sugar and oxygen. The sugar is food for the plants. The plants release the oxygen into the air, which humans and many animals breathe in. What do plants need to grow and be healthy? Miss Johnson asked her class. They need light and water, the class replied. Let's place both plants on the windowsill where they will get lots of light and grow. Who would like to volunteer to water the plants? All of Miss Johnson's students raised their hands. All right. So that is your first read. Remember that you must read it 2 times after me, okay? 1, casually read it by yourself. That's your first read, your personal first read, all right? And then the last one is to take your notes, analyze, circle those characters' names, underline the setting, draw boxes around the words that you don't know. And you've heard me read it, so there was one word that I think that I should point out, chloroplast. Chloroplast. Chloroplasts. It's towards the end of your story. And that is what makes leaves green. All right. Chloroplast is that word. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to get into science. So if you could, turn to the Thursday page in your science. Give me a second to do that. All right. You should be looking at a picture of trees. Okay, there's 2 pictures of trees on the top of that page for your hook. All right, and the hook is just questions that grab you, that try to get you interested in today's lesson, okay? So for the hook, it says, look at the 2 pictures of the maple trees. What do you notice about the trees? What do you wonder about the 2 trees? Go ahead and pause and answer those questions. Remember, there's no right or wrong answers for hooks, okay? No right or wrong answers. All right, welcome back. So, plants respond to seasons. Let's explain. Maple trees do all their growing in spring and early summer. In late summer, they store up reserves to begin the growing process again for the following spring. Maple trees lose their leaves during the fall to conserve water or to better survive winter weather conditions. The leaves will change color before they fall. These trees must regrow new foliage during the next suitable growing season. Much like some animals, many trees go through a process similar to hibernation called dormancy, which keeps them alive during winter. All processes slow or stop, and the tree lives on its stored food. Maple trees begin to grow and function again in the spring. They grow new leaves and flower buds. The weather in Florida does not become severe. Therefore, many types of trees found in Florida, including palm trees, have leaves, or fronds, which stay green all year long and do not lose their leaves or fronds in the winter. Okay, the exit slip says, how do many plants north of Florida adapt for winter? So what is it that plants do before winter to better help them be prepared for winter? Alrighty, that is your science lesson for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Fingers are crossed that the weather clears up and maybe you could enjoy something fun outside. I miss you, and I look forward to our lesson tomorrow. Remember, we're not writing essays today. You're welcome. Bye, guys.